Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dawn Huffy, and I'm the owner of Liberty Belle Coaching, and my life coaching certifications came through the Brave Thinking Institute. Today, the title of this video is called, Do You Want to Hide Out from the Messes Going On? Oh, I had an experience this week that I wanted to hide out. I wanted to run from it, and I didn't. I didn't. And I was so pleased with myself that I stayed and persevered. And I really want to share the experience with you so you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about. A lot of you know that I have another business with a company called LifeWave. I help people with their health with these patches, and they activate your own stem cells so it can help your body repair and regenerate. And they're just amazing. So I've been with the company almost a year, and I wanted to reach out in new areas to people to get the information about these patches out. And what I did is I attended a network group, and you can go 2 times for free and visit. And so I did that, and I noticed along the way resistance to me being in the group, but I kept persevering. And this revealed to me a pattern. I go forward because I know I have a good product, and they're telling me, no, you're conflicting with someone else in the group. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. My product is unique and it's different, and no one else has a product like mine. But that kind of thinking makes me push up against their resistance to me coming in. So as I was going through this process, I was seeing lots of patterns that I have that get me into messes, get me into trouble, and I was ignoring them. Yeah, I was definitely ignoring them. So what I did after the second free visit, I applied to the group. I literally applied to the group with people in the group who didn't want me in the group. What was I doing that for? Okay, well, that got me into a mess, actually. So I went to the third meeting after I applied, because you can go for free once your application is in process. And before the meeting started, I had a tap on my shoulder, and it was one of the guys in the membership committee. And he said, Dawn, I want to talk to you. And I was like, okay. So we went back to this little room, and he said, Dawn, we're not accepting your application into the group. And I thought, oh my, okay. I said, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to stay? What do you want me to do? And he said, it's up to you. You can stay. You drove all this way. I drove almost an hour to get there. And I was so discombobulated because they could have let me know before I got there. I had applied several days before, and these are weekly meetings, so they had plenty of time to notify me, but they notified me at the meeting, which was just weird. Okay. So then I went back to my seat, and I was so discombobulated. I didn't know what to do. I just thought, do I stay? Do I go? I don't know what to do. And I just thought, you know what? Get quiet and ask God what to do. And he told me to stay. I thought, oh boy, okay. I didn't know if I would get a turn to talk, because you get a minute commercial to talk about your business. I didn't really know a lot of the specifics, but that was the mess that I got myself into because I wasn't paying attention. Well, actually, I was seeing the red flags, but I was plowing through them just like I always have done in these types of situations. So believe me, I was doing a lot of compassion key going through this process, a lot of emotion code, clearing out stuff, clearing out wounds, clearing out patterns, because I was in the mess. I was absolutely in the mess. This morning, I decided to look back at my answers from God that might apply to this situation that I had myself in. And of course, I found one from Tuesday, October 4th of 2022. My question to God was, what is it like to be divine in human form? And this is the question that I asked God for weeks and weeks and weeks. And actually, I made an ebook out of these questions and God's answers. So you can find that on Amazon. And it's called Guidance from God. What is it like to be divine in human form? Okay, so here's God's answer. There are times when you want to lay low or fly under the radar or simply hide out. I did not mean for any of you to disappear from me or to escape your circumstances. Circumstances have a purpose. They are a reflection of your inner landscape. Your circumstances are providing information to your conscious mind on what pain and suffering and blocks are still taking up space within you. I am referring to unpleasant circumstances in particular. The positive circumstances are very good to notice as well, because that shows us that there is a part of us reflecting our healed and happy whole inner workings. This is good news. Now back to the not so good news of unpleasant and uncomfortable circumstances. When we notice what we're noticing in our negative circumstances, then we can release the pain, the sorrow, and any other trapped emotions once and for all, so we can then stop perpetuating patterns filled with all of that pain. I did not design you to live in perpetual pain. I designed you to live in peace, contentment, and joy. Thank you for your attention to this topic. Be visible in life with all the love and joy I created within your very beautiful soul. I love you. Amen. So God is saying to us, circumstances that are unpleasant are giving us information. They're giving us clues. And as I was sitting there in all this discombobulation, God's telling me to stay, and I'm not really wanting to stay. I can tell the people who are against me, they won't make eye contact with me. They look at me and they look down. So I know there's like 5 or 6 out of the 27 or 28 people there who don't want me in the group. And why was I persisting, knowing that I knew weeks before that there were certain people who didn't want me in the group. Well, I'm not going to be welcomed in the group if they don't want me in the group. So yeah, this was my pattern, pushing through. I've done this with men. I've seen red flags and I think, oh, it's all going to get better. No, it's not. The clues are there. The clues are there. It's time to walk away. But through it all, with God telling me to stay there, I had to really tap into courage and strength, and it was amazing. I did get to do my minute commercial. I didn't know if I was going to. And about halfway through, I could feel my whole countenance just drop, because the group had rejected me. And this is a pattern that I have, that I get rejected and it makes me feel bad. And of course, I was not feeling welcome or anything like that. And I had to give my commercial about my business. And at that halfway point, the Holy Spirit just came forth. There was a strength and a confidence that I have never really felt when I've been giving a presentation. It just came through, and I made eye contact with certain people that really weren't aware of what was going on as far as the resistance against me. They didn't really know. Made eye contact with them, and my humble confidence just came forth to finish that commercial in such an amazing way. It was so, so great. So God is telling us, I don't want you to hide out. And he told me in that moment, Dawn, you're not hiding out. You're not running out at the beginning of this meeting because everybody's going to go, well, where'd she go? What happened? Why'd she leave? And I didn't leave. I stayed. I stood my ground. I said my commercial. Then they came around one more time because they give you another minute to talk about referrals that you've given or that you've gotten. And for me, they had been asking me, what do you like about the meeting? And I really didn't know what I was going to say because they were going around the table and I was like middle one to talk. And at first I thought, oh, I'm going to expose them all. I'm going to say, oh, well, I got rejected and, I'm not going to be part of this group because certain people. And I thought, no, you're not tattling on people. No, that's not going to go over good for you. And then the next thing, I was like thinking, I could complain, well, yeah, I really think it would be, I don't conflict with anybody really because my product is unique. I was going to try and convince and complain about it. And I thought, no, I keep telling people in my videos, complaining and whining is the language of the devil. So I dismissed that idea. I mean, this is all happening in just a matter of minutes. And finally, I settled on this decision when the president said to me, Dawn, what do you like about this meeting today? And of course, I didn't like anything about it. And what I said was a major power move for me. I said, I'm going to pass today. Thank you. I wasn't going to say anything negative, anything positive. I wasn't going to say anything because this experience was so unprofessional on their part, the way they handled it, the way it all came about. And I wasn't going to give it bad press or good press. I was going to pass because silence can really be a powerful message. And at the end of the meeting, I thanked the man next to me because he was very supportive of me. And I just got up and walked out, and that was the end of it. It was the end of it. What I did do, though, the following week, there was another chapter in that same town, and I went to that meeting. It was a completely different setting. It was a completely different feel to it. I was so accepted. People were so happy that I was there. Of course, I had cleared out a lot of stuff with Compassion Key over the 3 weeks prior, so that probably helped. But it was an amazing experience, and I applied to that group, and now that is in process. So we'll see. I'm expecting that I will be accepted. It's a smaller group. They're just better quality people. They're kind, they're good. They are living out the mission of this network group of really promoting and referring other people. The other group didn't want to promote or refer me, even though I had a new way of helping people with their health. So when your circumstances come up and you want to hide out and you want to run away from them, you want to fly under the radar, like God says, you will feel so pleased with yourself if you hang in there and really stand for the truth, stand for your truth. Yeah, it's just really gratifying now as I look back at how staying for that third meeting boosted my confidence, even though I really didn't want to stay. But God said, stay. I gotta listen. If you're gonna ask God a question and he gives you an answer, don't ignore him. Because now I can look back and say, I gave my minute commercial and I did it. I stood up there in the face of a lot of resistance and I gave that commercial. Yeah. So, all right. So we make messes. We do. We just get ourselves into messes. And the message today is do your best to tell the truth, to stand for yourself, to honor your values, to honor your morals, and just keep going. Yes, keep going. You can do it. I believe in you. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.